And once again, I'm here to inform you that some of this will be overdubbed. But let's get on. Hello and welcome back, I'm Shelf Unit, and this is my continuing Let's Play of Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition. Okay, so I've figured out pretty much what I need to do, I think. But first, as we will start off with every episode...
In enduring, grow strong.
Yep, I will. We need to sort out the Unbroken Circle of Zerthamon. We will unlock the third circle. Zerthamon laboured many turnings for the Illithid, Arlathi, twice deceased, and his partnership in the cavernous heavens of the false worlds. His duties would have broken the backs of many others, but Zerthamon laboured on, suffering torment and exhaustion. Let's continue to read. It came to pass that the Illithid, Arlathi, twice deceased, ordered Zerthamon before him and his many-veined Galleria. He claimed that Zerthamon had committed sights of obstinance and cowardice against his partnership. The claim had no weight of truth, for Arlathi only wished to know if flames raged within Zerthamon's heart. He wished to know if Zerthamon's heart was one of a slave or of a rebel. Zerthamon surrendered to the Illithid punishment rather than reveal his newfound strength. He knew that were he to show the hatred in his heart, it would serve nothing, and it would harm the others that felt as he. He chose to endure the punishment that was placed within the Pillar of Silence, so that he might suffer for returning. Lashed upon the pillars, Zerthamon moved his mind to a place where pain could not reach, leaving his body behind. He lasted a turning, and when he was brought before Arlathi, twice deceased, he gave gratitude for his punishment to the Illithid, as was custom. In doing so, he proved himself a slave in the Illithid eyes, whilst his heart remained free. By enduring the quenching fires of his hatred, he allowed Arlathi, twice deceased, to think him weak. And when the time of rising came, Arlathi was the first of the Illithid to know death by Zerthamon's hand and die a third death. Okay, so let's talk to him about that.
What is your will?
Talk to you about your teachings. I have read the Unbroken Circle of Zerthamon. Now I want to speak to you more about the ways of Zerthamon. What did you come to know? Endure, and in enduring grow strong. The words you speak seem to strike Dakon strangely as you speak them. His forehead creases and then resettles into its normal passive expression. Your will has brought you the knowing of the third circle of Zerthamon. With this knowing, I impart this to you. He takes the circle and with a deft motion, he twists one of the links of the plane, slides forth. His hands the plate to you. Meditate upon its teachings, and the knowing of it shall give you strength. As you ask the words, suddenly notice that Dakon isn't looking at you. He's holding the Unbroken Circle in his hand, studying it. His blade is taken on the same texture as the Unbroken Circle. Dakon suddenly seems older somehow. Dakon? Dakon's black eyes rise from the circle and look at you. Know that I did not believe you would come to know the teachings of the circle. It is a difficult path that you will walk in the way of learning the way of Zerthamon. Is your mind focused on this matter? Yes, I wish to learn more. Dakon's fingers feel around the edges of the stone circle, and he twists it clockwise, the links clicking until they have settled into a new configuration. He then reverses the motion, resetting the stone. The next circle of Zerthamon is open to you. Study it, and then I will hear your words. Very well, I'll read it and speak with you again. Cool. So, has his sword changed? 3 to 12 slashing plus 2. This is good. He has an extra one of those, so... We've got one of everything except... Is that... Okay. Maybe more of these. Power of 1. No, we don't have any extra spells that we can Copy that to ours. So we've got a second one of those. Excellent. Now, let's go and talk
I'm gone.
to, if we can find her. There's Echo. We don't need Echo right now. I do need... Who do I need? Hi there, Kesai. Where is she? Oh, damn it. Where's her? Come on. Don't want Vivian. Per se. Delora. Delora. Close the door. Delora's face seems to brighten when she sees you. Greetings again. How may I serve you? Just how might you serve me, Delora? Questions? Do you know? Can you tell me about the silent prostitute? Yes, her name is Echo. Her voice, and in fact her every means of communication, was stolen and destroyed. Echo's words once wooed away the paramour of the godling Paramecia. Paramecia, in a jealous rage, tore away Echo's voice, sealed it within a crystal vial, and hurled it into the Megoglemdraga's maw. Echo's voice is forever lost to her. Only another new voice could return to her the ability to communicate once more. I know this because I spoke to Paramecia's paramour once myself. Let's find Echo. I think we need to find Echo now. Do we have any more tales for you? Yes. Story of Dangerous Alley of the Dangerous Angles. It leans forward as you tell the tale of the Alley of Dangerous Angles and how it came to be. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale, and now I have one for you, the lady's suitor. Go on. The tale concerns a suitor of the Lady of Pain, one of many over the years. He was a young man who was obsessed with the Mistress of Sigil. He saw her everywhere, in every corner of her city. He would hear the rustling of her robes, the scrape of her blades, and grew infatuated beyond all reason. He hoped that if he worshipped her, that he would be at last able to see her, and so worship her he did. Go on. He was found dead on the blood-soaked steps of his own home, grievous stab wounds covering the whole of his body, but his eyes were open wide, and upon his lips was a triumphant smile. Another tale to share for you. The story of Ignis. He leans forward as you tell the tale of Ignis and the art that burned within him. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale. And now I have one for you. The execution. Once, a murderer roamed Sigil streets, a black-hearted man by the name of Cossacks. He had been blessed by his abyssal mother so that no one could strike him with an intent to harm, or they themselves would die. He revelled in his blessing, using it to start fights and murder anyone who crossed his path. Go on. During one of his murderous rages, he was captured by the Harmonium with nets and brought before the governors. The trial was short, final, yet Cossacks laughed at the proceedings, knowing that no one among them could harm him without dying horribly. At the final day of his trial, he was proclaimed guilty and sentenced to death. The Cossack sentence proclaimed by the governors was this: confinement for thrice 30 days, during which time you shall give up your life, be declared dead and your body removed when all signs of life cease. The Cossacks laughed and dared any of them to try and harm him, yet the court was silent. The mercy killers led Cossack to their prison and locked him in a dark, empty cell. There was no cot, no lights, and the only door was a steel grate in the ceiling. As they lowered him into the cell, the mercy killer told him, "In the corner of your cell you will find a chalice. It holds poison. Your death will be swift." "Are you going to execute me?" Cossack snarled at the guard. "No one in Sigil shall lay a hand upon you with intent to harm," came the mercy killer's reply. Go on. "Then I spit on your cowardice." Cossacks laughed, feeling for the chalice in the darkness and then hurling it at the wall and shattering it. Its poison dripped from the walls and dried until it was no more. Come then, you'll have to try and kill me now. But there was no response from the grate in the ceiling. It was then the Cossacks noticed that the cell had no cot, no lights, no food and water. All that remained was the shattered chalice, the poison gone, and for the first time Cossacks knew the icy touch of death's approach. In 30 days the grate opened, and Cossack's body, now cold, was taken from the cell. It had given up its life, and the execution had been carried out. I have another tale to share with you. Or not. Tell me about the silent prostitute. Echo? Eves frowns, thinking. I once had tale... No, already got that. Do we have any more with her? I believe we do. We've got another person. Companions. Falls from Grace. Do you have a story to trade? Grace turns to Eves. I have no story that I wish to share with you today, Tale Chaser. I cannot let you exhaust my library before I can find more stories. Okay. So, where is Echo now? There she is. Let's talk to her. May I ask you why you can't communicate? Was your voice stolen? She nods vigorously, clasping her hands together and smiling at you. Do you know any way to get your voice back? She shakes her head, her face wrought with frustration. She suddenly looks at you pleadingly as if expecting an answer. I'll try and find a way to return your voice. No, I swear I'll do it. Look for something that will give you a voice. Farewell. Let's go back to her again now, straight away. I've got this fiend's tongue for you. She raises an eyebrow and gives you a sceptical look. I'm told that should you place it in your mouth, you'll regain the ability to communicate. She nods and takes the bottle from you. She gingerly picks out the severed tongue from the briny solution, and after staring at it for a moment in disgust, places it into her mouth. Suddenly her eyes widen, and then there's a burst of reddish light from between her lips. You all right? Echo opens her mouth, closes it, and then opens it once more, and speaks. I can speak again. Oh, joy, I can... Damn thee to the darkest of pits, thou stench-ridden worm! Kneel before me in supplication, insect! Yikes! Huh? Echo yelps and covers her mouth with both hands. Her eyes are wide with panic. It must be the fiend's tongue. She slowly takes her hands away from her mouth, nodding. It seems I must devour thy frail shell and consign thy soul to the abyss for all eternity. Thou shalt serve in my battle thrall until the plains grind to a halt. Thou art mine, 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 mine. Echo shuts her mouth again and begins to softly, quietly weep. Wait, try using these diva's tears. They should soothe the tongue's cursing. 30,000 XPs, woohoo! She nods, smiling, and takes the vial from you. Echo places a few of the sparkling blue drops onto her tongue. I believe the tears are working, yes they are. I can speak with my own voice once more. Oh, how I thank you. Echo squeezes your hand and bows her head gratefully, her eyes welling with tears of joy. It was my pleasure to help. Farewell, Echo. And we've leveled up. Good. So let's level you both up. You're getting close to mage level 10. You are getting close to mage level 8. You are now fighter level 6. Saving throws, fighting skills have improved. And you gain some hit points, and Mort now is a level 8 fighter. +1 fist, and his fighting skills have 10 more hit points. Wow. 108 hit points he's got. That is impressive. I mean, the resistances are by themselves. I mean, you can literally throw him out now. Literally throw him out into the front of the group. I mean, 4 fist, +3 to hit, +6 damage. And that is going to be 7 to 12 damage. And it's +4 to hit now, +3 to 8 fire damage. So really, it's going to be, what, 10 to 20 damage. Super happy with that. And you, my dear, are still quite a way away from leveling up, but you're a priest, and so that isn't really a problem for me. Okay. Oh, so now we need to talk to Echo again. Talk to Echo again. Echo waves pleasantly to you once more as you approach her. Greetings, sir, and well met. There's some questions. What are you doing here? I'm a student here at all the prostitutes. We seek to better learn the art of language in order to stimulate the minds, to heighten our awareness of ourselves and others, and to create new ways of experiencing another person. She pauses, lost in thought. Well, I've been without the ability to speak for so long. Most patrons came to me seeking someone to listen, someone attentive, capable of understanding them, that they could speak to, free of interruption and the like. Now that I can speak once more, I wonder if the time has come for me to move on, leave the brothel and become a sensate. A sensate? A member of the Society of Sensation. Ask Fall from Grace or someone at the Civic Festival if you would know more of them. Other questions? Tell me about this place. The brothel is a school of sorts where young women, the prostitute... No, don't need to know that. Ravel puzzle well. Echo nods and lowers her voice. In fact, I do. Not only does she exist, she has children. She what? One of them is here at times. Kesai Saris. She is a child of Ravel's, though she is loath to accept the fact. Who could blame her? She pauses for a moment, thinking. I have never gotten her to admit it, though I'm sure it is true. Interesting. So let's find Kesai.
Okay. Done.
Let's talk to Kerai Saris then. Is she here or is she somewhere else? Not in there. There's Vivian. Juliet. Kerai Sethis, are you in here? There she is. Kesai, are you Ravel's daughter? Kesai suddenly bares her teeth, her eyes narrowing to slits of blazing crimson. What? Where did you hear such a thing? Echo told me. Ridiculous! I think I'd know if that wicked hag was my own mother. Now, stop bothering me about it. Who is your mother then? I don't know, all right? My father raised me. I never knew her. But do I look like a night hag to you? Well, there's the skin, the eyes, maybe the teeth too. Kesai Saris glares daggers at you, her eyes blazing. Perhaps we'll speak later, but I'm no longer in the mood. Farewell. Okay. How do I prove that she is the daughter? Talk to Eve, the tail chaser. Have you had to trade? Actually, let me ask you a question. You look familiar. Is your other name Giovanna? No, I've heard Kesai Saris is Ravel's daughter. Is that true? Once upon a time, an elderly man from the clerk's ward vanished, and his body could not be found. To conceal it, the murderer buried him beneath another body in the cemetery. A diviner told of where the body could be found, and so they dug and uncovered the body, but not that of the elderly man. They were confounded. They were forced to release the man, and it was not until they continued to dig to rebury the older man's body that they found the second body. Sometimes one must dig deeply to find the truth. I see. I understand. Boom. So, I think that means we have to talk to people around the brothel, or that we have to talk to a grave digger. But let's talk to Kimaxi. Oh, it's you again. Just can't get enough of me, huh? I had some questions. Fine, whatever, ask. I heard that Kesai Saris is Ravel's daughter. Is that true? She shrugs. As far as I know, yes. She shrugs, suddenly suspicious. Why? I asked her about it and she denied it. So? It's not as if any of your business in the first place. Perhaps not. Another question. Okay, let's find someone else to talk to about it. If I can find anybody else around here. Talk To Nanny Nine Eyes. Well met, good sir. I'm Nanny, and how are you? This fine day. Oh, we've met before. Nanny giggles and smiles gleefully. I'm sorry, I knew you looked familiar, though. Let's ask some questions. I heard Kasai Ravel's daughter. Is that true? Beats me, sorry. Maybe you could ask Juliet. She and Kasai used to be really good friends. Then Juliet met Montague, and now they don't talk so much. Okay. Farewell. Let's find the next person. Marissa. Marissa's red eyes gleam at you from the blackness. Yes! I heard Kasai Ceres is Ravel's daughter. Is that true? I do not know, but I for one would not be surprised. For Hera's sake, look at the girl. Ask Juliet, though. The two of them were once friends, before Montague came along. Seems to be pointing me towards Juliet. But we'll go for one more. Before I confirm that. Let's talk to Vivian. Vivian tends to greet you. Had a question. Had Kasai Ceres as her daughter. Vivian nods no, lowering her voice. I too have heard such a rumour. 'Twould explain the red eyes, the unusual turn of her skin. I know not if such gossip is true, however. Inquire of Juliet. She was once something with Montague. Sorry about that. So let's go to Juliet. There's Juliet. Well, anything yet? Montague intended to leave you, and so I told him it was all a ruse. I'm not sure what he'll do now. Told him, blast, what shall I do now? Since he knows everything about it, you might as well discuss your feelings about the relationship openly. Juliet nods. 'Tis true enough. I thank thee. Okay, more questions. I heard Kasai Ceres is Ravel's daughter. Is that true? Ravel. No, I thought I might have heard that name before. I know not the truth of it, but I have heard of such a rumour. Thou may wish to ask Kimaxi Adatung the very same question. They are half-sisters, thou see. Are they? Interesting. Farewell. Okay, and back to Kimaxi. Oh boy. There's Kimaxi again. Is she in here? Oh, it's you again. I just can't get enough of me. More questions. I heard you're Kasai Ceres' half-sister. Is that true? Yeah, I'm related to that chubby, mewling, hook-nosed daydreamer. Same father, different mothers. So, I was hoping you'd help me find out if Kasai is really Ravel's daughter.
Updated my journal.
Kimaxi frowns at you. Normally I'd be lost to help you like this, but I have a feeling that it'd upset that flirting, preeny Doxy well and good. Tell her to ask her father. He's a powerful Cambion, so she ought to be able to call him right there and then. That'll get you your answer. Cambion? Yeah, Cambion. Kimaxi rolls her eyes. Didn't hear me the first time? Ears all stopped up with the last of your brains running out of them? I'm asking what one is. You're clueless. She shakes her head sadly, tugging all the while. A half-fiend, Burke, sort of like you. But you're half-dung, I think. You smell it at any rate. Better than half of you, Kimaxi. You wish you were half Kimaxi. Sod, even if you ended up with a goat's bum on your shoulder, you'd be better than what you screwed up face of yours. Don't have time. Let's head back to... not to Laura. There's Kasai Ceres. Let's catch up to her. There we go. There we go. She smiles warmly. Questions. I talked to Kimaxi. She told me she's your half-sister and that Ravel's your mother. Kasai snarls, her eyes blazing with eyes. That hell's how I loathe that woman. Why would you even believe her? That sort of trope. She says you deny it, and in fact you may not know it, but that's true. She said you could ask your father.
Updated my journal.
Kasai stares at you silently for a time. Give me a moment. She turns from you and begins to mutter softly. The air seems to shimmer around her slightly and fills with a coppery smell, like warm blood. Wait patiently. Kasai remains turned away from you for a moment before finally coming to face you. I did not want to believe that wicked hag may have been my mother. I've lived long. I do not appear to age, and have disturbing dreams sometimes. She shudders. But still, I do not wish to be the inheritor of the evil she caused, nor draw the lady's gaze as my mother did. Such evil things she did. Tell me what you know of her, will you? I heard she would pose impossible riddles to people, riddles she could answer but no one else could. She would devour the person if they answered incorrectly, or leave them dangling in her horrifying gardens as examples to all. Those few who somehow escaped she tormented in their dreams, riding them like steeds, breaking their wills and hurling their souls into the colourless oblivion of the grey waste. Go on. Her magic was said to be beyond anything most had ever seen. It was imagination woven from nightmare and given substance. Stone and solid shapes bent to her will like soft clay. The laws of the plains would bend beneath her feet, and from nothing she would weave illusion, and from illusion weave realities that could horrify and kill and confound. Go on. She turned mercy killers inside out and shattered buildings of those who displeased her. Terrible, terrible powers were at her command. Go on. She changed her shape like water and would use it to destroy some for amusement and to steal knowledge from others. She was a monster like all that had been spawned from the grey waste. Go on. In the end, she threatened to open the cage and let the fury of the plains come rolling in. Fortunately, she did not succeed. She existed solely to cause malice. Go on. I do not know if she's dead, but I know now that she was my mother. Because shoulders slump and her head hangs down. Oh, that I had tears so that I would weep with sorrow. Try and comfort her. She suddenly falls into your arms, shuddering as if she were racked with sobs. For a time, Kasai simply stands there, clinging to you, but then she pushes away. Thank you, but I'll be fine. I just needed some time to think about it, that's all. I wouldn't worry about it. You're nothing like Ravel. Farewell. Well, Lothar suggested go to the fest hall. Okay. Well, I'm going to go to the fest hall, I think. What's our levelling situation like? Oh, we're neutral good now. I thought we were we not neutral good before? I think we were neutral good before. Awful neutral. Chaotic neutral. Chaotic good. Lawful neutral. I think we're good so far. Okay,
all right.
Let's head back to the fest hall. Let's just talk to you again. Let's add some questions. There we go. About what? Not the warden alike, I hope. Plenty of more common folk could answer such questions, and I'd just as soon as direct you to one of them. What do you mean by future mage tutor of the fest hall? Bum bum bum. Okay. Nothing there.
Ah, the sweet smell of sensates and governors.
Smell of alcohol wafts heavily from this young woman. Despite her dark skin, you can see that her face, beautiful but cruel looking, is flushed. She's slender but well muscled, adorned in exotic jewellery and translucent silk clothing. Numerous scars crisscross her thighs and forearms. They look to be from battle wounds. Greetings. Ah. Well, well, what have we here? A little tiefling gutter queen come crawling out of the hive. The woman pouts, talking as one would to a small child. Are you lost, little tiefling? Oh, look, it has a tail. How cute. Anna flushes him with a snarl. Blades sprout from her fists. Now, Fiendkin, don't do that. The woman seems unconcerned as Anna draws her weapons and clucks disapprovingly with her tongue. Careful now, I'll remove that tail of yours and feed it to my dogs. Young Sahava Vigil? Could it be you? The young woman appears confused for a moment and then recognises Fall from Grace. She seems startled and abashed. Mistress Grace, I had not noticed you. Only shamefully do I admit this, for your noble appearance would be obvious even to a dullard. No, great. I'll let her continue to speak. Fall from Grace gives the barrister nods. Your words are most skillfully chosen, unlike those heard so recently. She seemed shamed. Yes, mistress. I regret such words were spoken in your presence. I regret they were spoken at all. Her tone barely changes, but the subtle reprimand seems to crack the young woman's face like a whip. It pains me to see an old student of mine behaving so. She frowns and then regains her composure. In any event, mistress, what brings you out of the establishment? Some errand? These are my companions that I am travelling with. I would expect the same courtesy given to them as you have given me. Such is a hallmark and the responsibility of those noble born. Anna glares at Grace and says furiously. So having bows low, then allow me to excuse myself with an apology, Mistress Grace, to you and your companions. My words were ill-chosen. It is the drink that caused me to speak such rubbish, and I am filled with shame for having belittled myself so before my teacher of old. She turns, bows, and leaves. Oof. Brutal. Okay, I'm going to come in here, give it the once around again.
Done.
Splinter regards you coolly as ever as you approach. Had some questions. Is there anyone here who would know about Ravel Puzzlewell? Splinter closes his eyes and thinks briefly. Would recommend that you speak with the wizard by the name of Quell about Ravel. Done that. Let's bluff. But I am a member, Splinter. I simply have not been here for a long, long while. I've had many experiences in my absence, as many as the scars upon my body. He narrows his eyes, humming at you as he looks you over. Very well, we shall grant you access to those privileges allowed only to members of the Society of Sensations, if you can show us what sensations you have gathered recently. All right, I'm ready. We would ask for 5 sensations, then, each pertaining to one of the body's senses, or a single experience which has strong elements of all 5 senses. I'd have a single experience to contribute. Then I woke up, not knowing where I was, on a cold, blood-slicked iron slab in the bowels of the mortuary, a place where dustmen or corpses and the corpses, only dustmen or the corpses in their care have seen. Go on. My entire body reeked of embalming fluid, but even the smell of that was not enough to match the coppery scent of gore around me. Dozens of bodies lie on the countless bloody slabs like the one I rose from, all in the process of being gutted, flayed, and liked by the nightmarish clockwork devices for reasons unknown. The only sounds were the squeals of laboured metal and the unsteady tread of undead workers as they pushed the slabs around the mortuary on rusted iron tracks. A disturbing experience. And I even left out the part about the chattering skull that flew at me as soon as I was upright. Will it suffice, Splinter? Yes. We welcome you back, traveller, and grant you access to those privileges allowed only to members of the Society of Sensation. My thanks. 10,000 XP, sirrah. Someone I was looking for. Never mind. How can you help me? How can you help me? We do many things in this fine hall. Let's buy something from the vaults. And why not? Oh. Well. So, does not appear to be. Done. Okay then. Let us head to the private areas.
Done.
Okay. This is all keys, isn't it? Quick save. Boom, 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 boom. The attractive young woman smiles pleasantly. Greetings, sir. She closes her eyes and flips through a large ledger, stopping at what seems to be a random page and opening her eyes once more. Here's your room key. She hands you a small key. The easternmost chamber's been waiting quite some time for your return. Would you like to rest now, sir? No, but what do you mean waiting for my return? Clark gives you a strange look. My ledger indicates that this is your key, sir, and has been for a good long time. If that's not so, then perhaps I'm merely mistaken. Would you like to rest now? Not right now, thank you. So there I have the festival room key, and it appears that I am an ex-member.
I hear your words.
Anywho, I think before we go in and see this quell, I shall pause here and say thank you ever so much for watching. If you've enjoyed, please subscribe. If not, more about it. Thank you again, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.